What if I told you that a single, often ignored wire could be the secret villain behind nearly 30% of all baffling car electrical issues? It's true. A small, inexpensive part called the engine ground strap can be the only thing standing between you and a vehicle that runs perfectly, or one that leaves you stranded with a bewildering array of problems. Today, we're shining a spotlight on this unsung hero of your car's electrical system. We'll walk you through the top 10 telltale signs that your ground strap is failing. Plus, we'll give you a simple step-by-step guide to test it yourself. But first, let's get acquainted with this crucial component. What exactly is an engine ground strap? Think of your car's electrical system like a circle. The battery's positive terminal sends power out to all your car's components: the headlights, the radio, the starter, the engine's computer. But for that power to do any work, it needs a clear and easy path to get back to the battery's negative terminal to complete the loop. The engine ground strap is that return highway. It's a thick, braided wire that connects your engine block directly to the chassis, the metal frame of your car, which then connects back to the battery's negative post. It ensures every single electrical component has a stable, reliable path to send current home. Without it, your car's electrical system would be a dead end. You can usually find this strap near the engine block, often running from the engine to a point on the frame rail or firewall, sometimes near the alternator or the battery itself. Now that you know what it is and where to look, here are the signs that yours might be in trouble. 10 signs of a bad engine ground strap. 1. Annoying buzzing or crackling from your speakers. Have you ever turned on your radio and heard a strange buzzing or whining sound that changes pitch as you rev the engine? This is a classic sign of a bad ground. When the main ground connection is weak or corroded, your electrical current gets desperate to find a way home. Sometimes it tries to travel through the audio system's wiring. This electrical interference is what you hear as buzzing, crackling, or static through your speakers, a clear sign that your car's electrical system is unstable. 2. Your interior lights are dim and moody. A faulty ground strap can't provide a clean and wide-open path for electricity. Instead, it creates a bottleneck, causing a voltage drop. Imagine it like a kink in a garden hose. The water pressure drops to a trickle. Similarly, when your ground strap is compromised, the voltage available to your interior lights and dashboard illumination drops. This results in lights that are noticeably dimmer than they should be, or that flicker softly, struggling to get the full power they need to shine brightly. 3. Flickering headlights that dance in the dark. This is one of the most noticeable and dangerous symptoms. Just like with the interior lights, a bad ground connection starves your headlights of the consistent power they need. The weak ground disrupts the flow of current, causing the voltage to fluctuate wildly. This makes your headlights flicker, sometimes subtly and sometimes dramatically, especially when you accelerate or turn on another high-power accessory like the air conditioning. This not only makes it harder for you to see the road, but also puts extra strain on the headlight bulbs, causing them to burn out much faster. 4. General electrical gremlins and wacky behavior. Are your power windows suddenly moving slower than usual? Does your radio randomly shut off and turn back on? Do your windshield wipers seem to have a mind of their own? These seemingly unrelated issues often point to a single culprit: a bad ground. When the main electrical highway is closed, electricity will try to take any side road it can to find to get back to the battery. This can mean routing through the control modules for other components, causing them to act erratically and malfunction in unpredictable ways. 5. Phantom warning lights on your dashboard. Few things cause more anxiety for a driver than a sudden constellation of warning lights on the dashboard. If you see the check engine light, the battery warning light, or other alerts pop up for no apparent reason, a bad ground could be the blame. Your car's main computer, ECU, relies on clean, stable electrical signals from dozens of sensors to monitor the vehicle's health. A faulty ground creates electrical noise and voltage fluctuations that the computer can misinterpret as a serious engine or system failure, triggering a false alarm. 6. Low voltage from your alternator. Your alternator is the power plant of your car when the engine is running, responsible for powering everything and recharging the battery. A healthy alternator should produce a steady voltage, typically between 13.5 and 14.5 volts. A weak ground connection acts like a resistor, preventing the alternator from effectively delivering that power to the rest of the car. If you test the voltage and it's consistently below that healthy range, it's a strong indication that the ground strap is hindering the alternator from doing its job. 7. A battery that's always drained. Are you constantly needing to jump-start your car? This is a direct consequence of the low alternator voltage we just discussed. If the alternator can't efficiently push its current through a bad ground to recharge the battery will never get a full and proper charge. Every time you start the car, you take a big gulp of power from the battery, and with a bad ground, the alternator can only give a tiny sip back. Over time, this constant deficit will drain the battery completely, leading to frequent jump starts and ultimately premature battery failure. 8. Trouble starting your car. When you turn the key, the starter motor requires a massive, immediate jolt of electrical current to crank the heavy engine over. A healthy ground connection provides a wide-open path for that huge amount of power. However, a corroded or loose ground strap creates a massive bottleneck. The electricity struggles to get through, leading to classic starting problems. You might hear a single loud click as the starter fails to engage, or you might experience a slow groaning crank that sounds like the battery is dying, even if it's fully charged. 9. Unexpected stalling or hesitation while driving. This is perhaps the most serious safety concern. Your engine's fuel pump and ignition system are entirely dependent on stable electrical power to function correctly. A compromised ground connection can cause momentary interruptions in the power flow to these critical components. This can cause your engine to sputter, hesitate when you step on the gas pedal, or even stall completely while you're driving. These symptoms create a significant safety risk, especially in traffic or at highway speeds. 10. A sudden drop in fuel efficiency. If you find yourself visiting the gas station more often but your driving habits haven't changed, a bad ground could be silently stealing your fuel. Your car's computer uses information from various sensors, especially oxygen sensors, to determine the perfect air-to-fuel mixture for optimal efficiency. These sensors require a perfect ground to send accurate signals. A faulty ground can skew the sensor readings, confusing the computer. In response, the computer often defaults to a rich mixture, meaning it injects more fuel than necessary, causing your fuel economy to plummet. How to quickly test your ground connection. Think you might have a bad ground? Here are 2 simple tests you can perform with a basic tool called a multimeter. Test 1. The resistance check. Set your multimeter. Turn the dial on your multimeter to the resistance setting, which is marked with the ohm symbol, omega. You'll want to use the lowest possible range. Connect the black lead. Clamp the black probe of your multimeter securely to the negative terminal of your car's battery. This is your known good ground point. Touch with the red probe. Touch the red probe firmly to the metal bolt or connector where the ground strap connects to the engine block, then test the other end where it connects to the vehicle's frame. Read the result. A perfect, clean ground connection has almost no resistance. Your multimeter should read a value very close to 0 ohms, like 0.1, 0.2. If you see a higher number, or if the number is fluctuating, it means you have a weak or dirty connection that needs to be cleaned or tightened. Test 2. The continuity check. Set your multimeter. Switch your multimeter to the continuity setting. This mode is often marked with a symbol that looks like a sound wave or a diode. In this mode, the multimeter will beep if there is an unbroken electrical path. Connect the leads. Place one probe on the negative battery terminal and the other probe on the connection point of the ground strap you want to test, either on the engine or the frame. Listen for the beep. If you hear a continuous beep, congratulations! It means you have good continuity, a solid, unbroken path for electricity. If the multimeter stays silent or beeps intermittently, it confirms there's a break or a serious problem in the ground connection that needs to be fixed. If your tests reveal a problem, the solution is often as simple as unbolting the ground strap, cleaning the connection points on the strap and the frame until they are shiny, and then bolting it back on securely.